Ntoroko district in western Uganda is located west of the Rwenzori Mountains. It borders the Democratic Republic of Congo to the western north, Chikobe district to the north-northeast, Kagadi district to the northeast, Kabarole district to the south and east, and Bundibujo district to the south. It is 84 kilometers northwest of Fort Portal City and 376 kilometers west of Kampala City. It is the least populated district in Uganda. The government parish development model program has benefited most rural folk of Ntoroko district, which lives on subsistence economic activities. Mogenyi Solomon, a resident of Intale village, Nombe Parish, Nombe Sub-County, is a beneficiary of the PDM funds and was venturing into purchasing cocoa. Mogenyi's engagement in a malt business venture has earned him a fortune.
So obanatanakira kusubura koko dona nkaiteka muzona milioni mtwaro kinana na munana kwa mtwalibire kasigara mu bank. So natana kusubura hanyuma ya mezi asatu nasanga sente ezo milioni ngobere mu mtwali 15. So mtwali 15 nagenda nagura mu empuno yibona juguziremu natana kono kugiritsa kandi ni subura koko ene tukisubura ebire byo kwezi 15 no 13 abukuba baba banoga batera abalimi abukuma koko. So koko ejo ngumiza obutumara kuginoga tyanikira nyuma yebiro bisatu nubu tugitunda. So sente ezitwihamu koko obutumara kugitunda sente tunga tuzahura tulinda kugesa kundi. So nyowe obukuba kutakakira kugesa kundi sente zenziteka mukaduka kanye nkabanya nakaduka katito nazongeramu. So mukaduko nagenda yongeramu mpora. So nkaita kwebuza alimu amagoba ge mtwaro 80. So mtwaro 80 nagenda gura ka fridge nateri mumu. So naikara nuko nisubura anti empunu yange yanalinguzire ebuli mtwaro 15 ya yema yazara. So ekazali byana 8 yazire byana 8 ebyana 8 owempunu owempaye na tamaho kimbu yasigara musanzu. So musanzu natunda byana mukaga binatunzire buli tyana kakitune mtwali 10. So abyana mukaga natunga nyine mtwaro nkaga kandi nyina nempunu 2 ekyana kimu nkakisigaho kikara nanye nayo. So nasanga atana hazuni nsangwe nyine mpundu 2 nyine nayo nekyana kyayo abwekyo sente zinu nkoko nayitungire sana kayitunga nemgisa. So nisima muno gameti ya NRM okurora netuyamba tura netusaka nkayito abantu abahansi.
Ngitungu Feibe is a member of Nyamabenga Goat Farmers Circle. She is a beneficiary of 1 million PDM funds, which she invested in goat farming enterprise.
Amena waini Ngitungu Feibe. Munengiro PDM Circle. Nyambega Goat. Na rumuba mpesa sente omuliyoni muwoma. Munaura esya empeni nemire nakwe byana bibere. Munora emitwaro 15. Hamasa kebara si emitwaro 5 nere shamba ni sya matemba betemba namutuka bwasibika kwa bank na rubaba bebo hore shamba na masubira na manda na maura empeni ngume inemire mitwaro ai.
Honorable members, good afternoon once again. Good afternoon to you, the team from Kawempe National Referral Hospital. This is the Public Accounts Committee Central, looking at your accountability for the year 2024-25, aware of your mandate, which is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality in the line of provision of obstetric, pediatric, and adolescent health care services, which are specialized. And also, we know, are you a training and research center? You will update us on that. We understand that you also commit to SDG 3, which is to ensure that we have health lives and promote the well-being of every Ugandan. The last time you appeared here, you had severe challenges of congestion. You will update us on how far you have gone in ensuring that we reduce the congestion in Kawempe. You will update us on your staffing levels as of recent. You will also update us on the complaint of the high neonatal deaths in Kawempe National Referral Hospital. And also there is a high complaint that when one goes to Kawempe, the services are not free. You ask for money which is not part of NTR, that is, it is not receipted. So you will update us on how much do you charge for a C-section in Kawempe? How many deliveries do you handle a day? How is your ICU unit and the capacity? Then the capacity of your neonatal unit. Honorable colleagues, if there is something you want to inquire from the accounting officer, please do before he makes a response. If none, accounting officer, please. Yes, Honorable. Accounting officer, please. Response.
Thank you very much.
As you also update us, the 5 minutes, update us about Kawempe and then respond to the questions raised.
Thank you very much, Chair and honorable members. Kawempe National Referral Hospital is still a 200-bed capacity hospital that handles the mission and mandate is still the same. The mandate is we are mandated to provide obs-gyn services, pediatric services, adolescent health services, HIV elimination, and research and training. Those are our 5 mandates. On average, we handle 550 mothers per day. This is according to...
Director, a moment. How many copies do you have in excess so that we can run one for these colleagues?
I had my introduction. I had not made many because it's.
But we can. No, my dear, accountability is both for occupants of office and the money that you get. Max, hey, you must account for your stay in that place.
Yes.
So, honorable colleagues, they are going to run a copy, but that doesn't stop us from proceeding. Please do.
Yes. So, as I was saying, the vision of Kawempe National Referral Hospital is model specialized national referral hospital. The mission is the same. The mandates, I've talked about them, the 5. And you asked about how many patients do we handle per day. So, on the first mandate, obs-gyn, that is deliveries and conditions related to...
Before you go to the deliveries, tell us about your population, the population that you serve, target population.
The target population in the whole country.
The whole country?
Yes,
okay.
Because it's a national referral hospital. So on average, according to the last financial year, we handle averagely 550 mothers a day. 1/5 of these are inpatients and 500 are outpatients. You will see the breakdown, but important, on the inpatients, 80 to 100 are postnatal mothers who have delivered, both by operation and by normal deliveries. Of the 400 outpatients, at least 200 are antenatal clinic. The mothers who are pregnant and come for various care. And 50 of them is family planning. It's part of our obs-gyn services. We also do oncology, especially screening for cancers, especially cervical cancer, which is the commonest female cancer in the country, as you know. On the pediatric services, we handle at least 250 children per day. 1/5 of these are inpatients, and the majority of 100 are the neonatal services. That is 1 month old, what you call neonatal intensive care unit. And about 120 are outpatient. On average, 80% of our patients are referrals in. And these referrals are from all over. Of course, the majority are from the KMP, Kampala Metropolitan, but we get referrals from all over the country. We also provide adolescent services, particularly teenage pregnancy. We have a special clinic for teenage pregnancies on Thursdays, where we handle at least 250 mothers a day. The other one is provision of HIV services, particularly elimination of mother-to-child transmission, which we are doing very well. Our statistics are above the targets of 95, 95, 95. We are at 96% for the first target of all mothers that come to Kawempe. 99% are tested for HIV. Out of those, there are about 2% who have found to be positive. 99% are started on treatment. And out of those, we have found that 96% are suppressed. The target for the suppression is 95. As you asked, Chair, our center we do a lot of training. Particularly, we are a center of excellence for training in service from all over the country. Particularly in neonatology, we have experts, trainers at the hospital. We are also a center of excellence for training, especially in obstetrics and gynecology. All the residents, the senior house officers for Makerere, that is doctors training in obstetrics and gynecology, are trained from Kawempe. We do carry out a lot of researches, both international and national. Some of the researches are very, very important. They have changed policy. I may not go into the details, but for example, one of the drugs we used to control PPH, the research was done in Kawempe. We have launched concerning the training, we have recently, actually last month, I think this month, launched a telemedicine hub, a knowledge hub, where we are able to train people using the telemedicine. During the financial year, we have had several achievements. I would like to mention a few of them. The first one is dialysis. Together with the Chirudu National Referral Hospital, we were able to set up a 2-bed dialysis unit. The main reason for this is we have mothers with complications who get acute kidney injuries, whom we have before been referring to Chirudu, but now we are able to manage them from Kawempe, and they were contributing to the maternal mortalities we had. We were able to procure some critically needed equipment through Ministry of Health. We got one digital X-ray machine, modern machine, to replace the one we have been having, which was old. Right now we are undergoing renovations. One of the issues we have been having is the plumbing system, which was not designed for the kind of mothers we're handling. So we are overhauling the plumbing system. We have had significant improvements in HR management, particularly in efficiency rather than in increasing the numbers. The numbers we have, we are still at 47% like last year.
47%?
Yes, please. Out of we still have the old structure. Ours hasn't been reviewed, but we are at 47%. Remember,
Give the actual numbers of staff.
we have about 460 staff. Versus 950 PHRO, about 938. So we are at 47%. Remember, we used to be at 36% in the last year but one, but we improved 47% in the last financial year. We have reduced, you asked about to comment on the neonatal mortality. We have reduced our neonatal mortalities about 3 years ago. We used to have about 48 babies dying per week, because we collect our data per day, but we analyze it per week. As we talk, this has reduced, for example, last week to 11 per week. We have significantly reduced neonatal mortalities, and we generally, when you analyze the year, we have reduced the neonatal mortality rate significantly, of between 8 and 15. And the better news is we have reduced maternal mortality from, it used to be 48 per week. Now we are on, it used to be, for example, taking last financial year, it was about 36 per quarter, but last quarter it was 22. I needed to confirm the, but for example, the last 2 weeks, we have not had a maternal death. We used to have an average of 2 maternal deaths per week, but like the last 2 weeks, we have not had a maternal death. So we have done a lot of course, this is not by accident. If we're going deep, the main cause of maternal mortality is PPH.
Madam Chair, Director can help us. You can get us excited, but kindly give these statistics according to the year under review. Yes. Instead of telling us last week, you can tell us that under this financial year, we reduced the maternal mortality to this.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can easily get us excited for last week.
No, because the weeks are okay. If I remember well, the year under review, we had 65 maternal death members. You can remind me. Maternal death. Remember, this is out of 20,000 deliveries, so you have to contextualize it. Of course, there are many. Even one maternal death is a lot, but this has reduced from over 200 over the last 3 years to now 60 something out of 20,000 deliveries. This is why it's better to get per day. Every day we have at least 60 deliveries. And remember, each mother you take at least 24 hours monitoring them. So out of these 60 deliveries, about 25 are cesarean sections. Our cesarean section rate hovers between 48 and 52%. The recommended should be up to 15%. For national referral hospitals, we can go up to like 25%. Meaning out of 100 mothers you get, 25 of them need intervention. Why is our C-section rate high? Because of the nature of the majority of the mothers that are referred need intervention. They have already done what they can in the other health units. And once they come, the majority of them need surgical interventions. So the hospital is quite busy, as you can imagine. And that's why we have these challenges. Of course, we don't have enough equipment. We don't have enough equipment is number one. We have frequent breakdowns. So for example, if you take the vents in the ICU, they are 24 hours occupied. The vents. If you take the operating tables, they are 24 hours occupied. etc. So there is frequent breakdown. Of course, we don't have adequate human resources. We are at 47%. We also have a problem which is not only for Kawempe, but generally the country. The referral mechanism is a bit dysfunctional. So we should be having complicated patients referred to Kawempe, but we also have just normal deliveries. And when they come in, you cannot send them away. And we have congestion. The other achievement, which is in I would say good news in the current budget, is we have been provided some funds to expand. And also they have increased the budget on the maintenance of this equipment. I think I want to thank you very much, because those were some of your recommendations in the last financial year. Thank you, Chair.
How much do you charge for a C-section?
A C-section, currently using we have new guidelines from Ministry of Health, which we analyzed, and currently C-section is at 2.5 million.
2.5 million?
Finance, is that correct? Yes, about 2.5 million.
In
We have, yes. Of course, private wing. All other operations are free.
Are they free? Can a woman just walk straight to Kawempe and the C-section is free? Are you sure?
Madam Chair, I am very sure there may be some underhand payments. I cannot, but out of these 60 mothers we deliver, the statistics I'm giving, these are free services. We have a 6-bed private wing. That's where I'm talking about that rate.
So, honorable colleagues, Dr.
Biaruhanga
is on record that once a woman is referred to Kawempe, in the general section,
yes,
the C-section is for free.
Free 100%. I want to confirm that.
You'll be stoned to death when you move out there.
Honestly speaking,
that is, you know, if you moved out and gave that information, you cannot walk from one street to another.
Chair, I want
that it is a free service.
Yes.
You have to do a lot of homework. I'm telling you, C-section in Kawempe for free. Do homework. Hey, the women are watching. You will go back and tell them. I'm telling you, we shall tell them to, as long as you are referred to Kawempe, we are going to put it on the notice boards in our constituencies.
Yes.
Please, when you referred to Kawempe, 0 charge on C-section.
I would be very happy, Chair,
and
because
if somebody came and gave evidence that they paid.
Now that is where we want your help, everyone's help, because I have heard of patients who were charged, but this is not official. And sometimes we follow these patients. Themselves, they can't give information. You know, several times actually. It is all services in Kawempe are 100% free, except radiology, that is X-ray, ultrasound. Ultrasound is 20,000 shillings. This is for NTR. It's not collected by us. We have a bank which does this. I want to confirm that all services in Kawempe are free.
Doctor,
if someone has been charged, that is illegal.
Doctor, you are going to do us a very simple job as a patriotic citizen of this country and a servant in Kawempe National Referral Hospital. You are going to draft for us a chart. Our role will be to deliver to the people that these services are for free in Kawempe as long as you are referred.
Yes. No, not even as long as you are referred, even when you come in.
But even when you come in.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Honorable Nsamba.
Madam Chair, at my police station in Kasanda, there is that chart that a bond is free. A bond is free. But also I visited Kawempe Hospital and there is that chart everywhere,
yes,
indicating that the services are free. And I hope it is right, because those people of Kasanda, although they claim it is free, they can't release you unless you you paid something.
Honorable Grania.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, just a simple question to the ED. Is there an instance where the theater or the hospital itself runs out of some of the health supplies and they have to charge patients who come for either an operation or any other medical service?
To my knowledge,
for things like gauze, you need to... Do you actually give out mama kits to mothers who come for those operations at no cost?
Thank you very much for that question. In the time I have been in Kawempe as director, we have never run out of supplies, and you need to get me very well. Theater supplies, labor ward supplies. I'm talking of gauze, gloves, IV fluids. There are some drugs which are out of stock. And this is why I emphasize, and this is why it is everywhere, that all services here are free. If someone has been charged for operation in theater, that is a wrong person. Because we have never, I can confirm, run out of gloves, fluids, you know, the basic sundries used in the theater and labor ward. We have never. I have my team here, they can confirm.
Honorable Saungu.
Madam Chair, good afternoon, Doctor, Mr. Accounting Officer. I'm a neighbor of Chirodu.
This is Kawempe.
No, you know what, Madam Chair, I'm building my point. I know this is Kawempe because they are not from Chirodu and I don't know them there. I know none of them. Let us be specific on this. I know what is meant by saying that services are free, but let him, doctor, confirm to us. Do you have any pharmacy at that hospital that does not sell medicine? Does not sell medical equipment? You tell me that the services are free. Yes, Madam Chair, entering for operation is okay, but don't these patients buy? Do you call them knives? You know, I'm not a doctor. Or you pangas,
Scalpels,
surgical blades, the medicine they use, the everything. Because why I'm very serious on this, Panadol. When you go to these hospitals, yes, the services are free, but they're saying, "Oh, madam, yes, you are going for your cesarean, but you must have A, B, C, D to have it successful." And immediately after, who treats the patient up to the end of the curing of the wound? Doctor, kindly be specific, because me, I'm going to storm your hospital with the patients.
Thank you very much.
But I'm still going through the chair, but for you, are not going through the chair. And he's not to allow you to talk here. That's the training I have in Parliament. Doctor, confirm to this committee that a patient in Kawempe comes scot-free. He's given all those services without spending a single penny. Because what we know, even if you go to Mulago, move around that hospital, it is now surrounded by pharmacies. Why is it surrounded by pharmacies? It is business. Yes, one day here, Freika and the others, patients go, but the services in the hospital are free, but you spend money. And you give them food also, those patients. All those things want to know. That will be, it is another new heaven in Uganda. Kawempe, Regional Referral, New Heaven in Uganda, under the stewardship of our new doctor, accounting officer. Confirm that, then you will see how I'm bringing in mind. Whoever rings me everywhere, I will be driving them there.
Okay. Through Chair.
Doctor, as you come...
Because it is very important, Madam Chair, to know these cameras are running live, and they are going to call and send messages that once you go to Kawempe for birth, you will never, everything is there. From stitching, you don't buy for the pangas and the knives. I don't know the knives. Of course, my mother gave birth. For me, we are 6 children. We all went through cesarean, but our time was not easy. My mother's time, that's long ago. You know that my age. The doctor should confirm to us all that. There, we are going to write the best report against Kawempe.
Doctor, we need to be practical on this. You are going to give us in a simple clarification on what is required of a mother who comes to Kawempe when she is going to give birth under a C-section. What do you require of them? I just carry my suitcase, a basin, and a jerrycan. Then walk into the hospital. Those are the basics that we want, because people will, the way Honorable Sawung says, people will storm your home as the MP to, direct them on how to move to Kawempe. So simplify. Tell the country what is required of a patient who comes to Kawempe to give birth. In both for normal delivery, if C-section can be for free, then in normal is for very, very free.
And Madam Chair, why I'm insisting on that, I know what it costs for a cesarean mother. The list in Zambia, the list in the general ward, I think that person can go for $1 million. Meaning now, if ours is in the government, the minimum they are spending on every patient might be around 500 or 400, depending, 0.5. So if we then you have to look at the budget allocation, how many patients do they get per week, per day, vis-a-vis their, because me, I don't want sugar coating. I am a person against sugar coating to appease members because I've appeared. Facts must remain available to the committee to solve the challenge. Whether they're not solved today or in the next 5 years, but records keep at Parliament for those who will come after us. So if you come and tell me that Kawempe does have cesarean at 500 minimum, and it can afford operating over 40 mothers or 20 or 10 in a month, it must be.
And Doctor, as you do make your response, would like you to justify the 2.5 payment for in the private, because we must also have, much as private for private people, the assumption is that you can afford, but 2.5 for a C-section in Kawempe, a government hospital, for me, it looks as if it's on a higher side. 2.5 million for a C-section in Kawempe. That looks to be more of purely private, not private in the private, not a private wing. That is somebody says that is a presidential shoot. I don't know. But Doctor, with your submission, actually for some of us, I was done with that business. But as long as you convince me that it is for free, I'm telling you, we are going to embark on the assignment and produce as many children as we can, because with the free service, why not?
Okay. So may I respond,
Please.
Chair? Thank you very much. I hope I don't lose.
Honorable Basil.
Thank you, Chair. Because from the bed capacity and the mothers per day, the inpatients, he talked of 150 per day. This is good. So my question, which I'm interested in, is this is a national referral.
Yes, please.
National referral hospital. But Kawempe is in an area that also is likely to attract other people who are not referred.
Yes.
I just wanted to know, because this is a problem across all referral hospitals across the country, how do we, or how are you handling the issue of these other people who are not referred? Because essentially, your focus should be on those referred because they're already having complications, and therefore give the attendance to those, while others are sent elsewhere where they would get services, while you focus on those referred. How do you handle them? And because they can easily disrupt your other services.
Chair, may I respond?
Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. I might lose the questions.
Okay, let him first respond to this.
Thank you very much for a very good question from the Honorable, if I may start with that. Actually, you can get one referral, for example, from Bujiri Hospital, because they cannot manage. The mother will come and disorganize the whole, your plan for the day. And that's why you see we have morbidities and mortalities. So you may be having 10 sections online. You know how you are going to manage them. We have opened the theaters. We have 5 theaters. You get a very complicated case, referred even with pre-referral communication, but it is organized. So how are we handling it? They disrupt the normal activities of the hospital. And that's why you sometimes have death and sometimes have morbidities like, tears, morbidities in these mothers. So it's a very big problem. These referrals are a very big problem because majority of them pass through the regional referrals to Kawempe, because we have, I would say, the expertise to handle the majority of the referrals. How we handle these numbers, you just need to visit us and see the volume of patients that are in this hospital. Those who have been there, like Honorable, and the other year, the members came to Kawempe, you saw for yourselves. Now, to the Honorable's question, I am not surprised that you are surprised that our services are not free until you visit the hospital. That's when you will understand what I'm talking about. We have pharmacies around the hospital. This is out of my control. Totally out of my control. We actually have even a mini hospital about 1 kilometer from the hospital. This is out of my control. They are registered by, I don't know, KCCA. Now, I want to differentiate between supplies and drugs. Occasionally, we have out-of-stock drugs. The pharmacist is here. For example, painkillers. Someone mentioned Panadol. We have a whole range of about 6 painkillers. If Panadol is not there, we have diclofenac. If diclofenac is not there, we have pethidine. But I want to confirm that the supply is needed. When you go to theater, you need a cannula, you need IV fluids, you need to be draped, you need gowns, we use gowns. The arrangement we have done, and I must thank the whole system, my team, and NMS. So, for example, you must sterilize the equipment you use in theater. We have standby kits from, we call them aero kits, from NMS. In case our machines break down, we use those kits. So, the saying that there is, in terms of supplies, I have not seen it. Really, and you can call, right now we are here, you can call the hospital and ask anyone. In terms of supplies, please, not drugs. These are different things. The sundries we use in... We are very grateful.
So what do people know?
No, in Kawempe they don't buy. If there is someone who has been sent to buy, and I have been very clear to the staff, that if you don't have a certain drug, this is okay, the world over. Someone may come with sepsis from somewhere, and the drug that is needed is rare. For example, in ICU, right now, even as I talk, we have a patient in ICU who needs a special drug, which we are trying to get. Now, this must be prescribed by the specialist. Every day there is a specialist on duty. Now, I'm not saying this is always what is happening. There are bad people in society. And someone may have charged a patient. If we get the person, like we have done sometimes, they are sent to the disciplinary committee. We don't condone that. So you may have heard that someone went to Kawempe, she was going to theater and she was charged. This is not official. And if we get that person, I can assure you, we handle them with the what? Some of them, if it is like straight, like we have got someone charging a patient, there is a way we handle them badly. So I want once again to say, the general section of Kawempe National Referral Hospital, this is 99% of the services are free, except radiology, where we collect NTR, that is ultrasound, CT scan, X-ray, and the private services on level 7, which are 6-bed private services.
Radiology, CT scan, MRI?
Yes, X-ray, CT scan, ultrasound. The charges are hung in the hospital, they are official, the funds are, the collections are receipted with receipts from the Accountant General, I think, office. Yes. And this is the money which is the NTR, which is known. So let me emphasize, if you have ever been charged, they are all over the telephone numbers. That was illegal. That was by a bad person.
Director, it's just enough when you say, you know, for us, when we come from our villages, we never differentiate between a CT scan and the paying. So once you charge me for CT scan, I will say, they charged me. Okay? Once you say that there are services, MRI, radiology, and yes, I will say I paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Honorable Songu.
Anyway, what I can say, frankly speaking, your costs are lower than the private entities on those charges. But for me, I have never come to Kawempe.
You are welcome.
I've not had my patients there. But when we were here with my chair yesterday, with the China friendship, they have 1 billion to run the hospital. And now for you, I'm happy with what you are saying. But what I'm going to do is to look for patients coming to there.
Yes, please.
That one, just trust me, I'm going to bring them.
Honorable Bangura.
Chair, add on
Thank
that.
you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, Dr. Biaranga has really tried to give us a very impressive position of how Kawempe looks like, and how I wish, like we had started the other time, that these meetings of well-resourced institutions like these ones supporting our people are held at the site, such that our going there would give the impression of really what is being spoken now here. But I want to thank you for the positive trajectory you're continuing to realize in terms of the services and accommodating the referrals that come from our units out there. Just two things. Number one, when we're with the women, the women's hospital, the specialized women's hospital, that we are requesting they add a stroke, women stroke men, because it is causing us a bit of contradiction. They told us that they charge 1.3. Then there is what they refer to as gold. That is the high end. That is where it goes between the 2 to 2.5. Now, how do you classify the service that you offer at 2.5? Is that comparable to the gold this side, or you have your own platinum that side? Then number two, we met Kirudu, and in one of the movements that the president has had around, there has been a request by the president of the day. Did you hear that there are yellow kits there that are being appreciated for good work? That not you who's here, but that one. Yeah, but they also cleared some yellow kits there to support them in sterilization. So when the chairman of the mighty NRM party, the president, was moving around, there was a request from the community of Kirudu that the referral status be downgraded to a district hospital. And one of the concerns that were coming, as we are told from that engagement, was denying the people of that area services that would literally be available in every hospital, and most especially this one that has been taken by you in Kawempe, that is supporting our women to deliver and the related aspects. What would be your comment in that case? How would you guide us and maybe the country as far as that request from Kawempe is concerned, I mean from Kirudu, to have the referral hospital downgraded to a district hospital?
Yes, Director.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bangura, for your questions. Now, when Kawempe was established, 2018 August, as a national referral hospital, this was usually to be level 5 of Mulago National Referral Hospital, the current, the OBSGYN. So they came with the charges for the private part, with the charges of Mulago. Recently, in July last year, there are new guidelines for private services in the whole country, and there is a way you calculate how much you charge for normal deliveries and all that. And our charges were reviewed comprehensively for almost 3 months. They were presented to the board according to these guidelines. For women's hospital, I know they have 3 levels. There is what you would call the normal level, which are saying 1.3 million. There is a middle level, I think it is gold. There is the platinum, which is in 5 something. I don't have the figures, but it's much out of range of this. Our rates were, to reach at these rates, we first benchmarked several hospitals and used the guidelines which are available, which were signed by the Minister of Health. Those are the guidelines we are using. So the rates are within that. That's concerning the 6-bed. If someone has the funds, as I told you, 99% of our services, C-sections and all, are free. So if you have the
2.5.
yes, then you can access the 6 beds, and they are always full anyway. Concerning the referral status, I have also heard about that in the news. World over, if you study the hospitals, health center force, general hospitals, referral, as you go up, you are going in specializations. So for national referral hospitals are specialized in a way. For example, Butabika, National Referral Hospital is for mental. You can't say now they start providing, when a mother in Butabika goes in labor, they refer to Kawempe. What we need to do is to improve the communication, the infrastructure. It's not a problem. It takes about 20 minutes from Kawempe to Chirudo using the express. It's actually not a problem. And I told you that we have been referring mothers to Chirudo for complications of pregnancy who needed dialysis, which we now do in Kawempe. So I would definitely, and if I was asked for advice, the solution is to build general hospitals to support these national referral hospitals. And the biggest problem, for example, for Kawempe, we don't have general hospitals supporting the national referral hospital. Remember, Kawara is a health center for, Kisenyi is a health center for, these are under KCC. These should be big hospitals. The volume of work they do is for actually almost referral hospitals. So downgrading, I have not had, I don't have any official communication about that. I would really not comment about that, but it would be going steps backward, because you need national referral hospitals in Uganda which are specialized in certain areas, where the general hospitals can refer, where the regional referral hospitals can refer to these national referral hospitals. Because Jinja, for example, regional referral hospitals handles everything. Now, when you go up, you need to specialize. If the infrastructure is good, it takes a very short time to move, for example, from Mulago National Referral Hospital to Kawempe, and that's how it should be. When sometimes we have, you go to operate a woman, and you find the intestines, especially these referred patients from up country, you find the intestines have been injured. We call Mulago National Referral Hospital, they send, many times, they send their surgeon to join our obstetrician and handle the patient. So this is not a problem at all. Unless, I don't know where it came from, I heard about it, I don't have any communication. I mean formal communication about that.
Lastly, yes, Honorable Song.
You see, I was here. When I entered this institution, Madam Chair, Education and Health were one committee, social services. And it was out of our struggle with by then the speaker to separate them because the workload is big. The interest where we are failing is funding. Because I don't see any reason why a patient from Kalungu should be referred to Chirodu when there is Masaka regional referral. But the funds there are not permissible. But there is an ambulance supposed to deliver this person, costing over 800,000 to deliver that patient to Chirodu. This one is entirely on our shoulders, and as a committee, Madam Chair, with your leadership, say how many times you make recommendations, because of course you are getting overflow of patients. Now I'm going to bring those of Kalungu very seriously, and I will be coming directly to your office. But may I think the issue of funding and the spirit in which Chirodu and the Kawempe were put into place is getting more challenges. I think even you get malaria patients, and
Complicated malaria, yes.
That's a very big problem for such regional referrals. I don't know what we should do. That is for finance and those who budget for you. But I don't know what policy, what documents you write to them as you get funds, because you are technical in that. You know, Madam Chair, these people you see here, doctors, they are the hardest people to play with. When you go to law, professional negligence of a doctor cannot be easily achieved in court. So when we are talking, even we are very careful with you. You say, Sewungu came, was asking me questions in park. Now he's here sweating with easy complications. What can I do? But for us, in the spirit of working together, we are seeing how we can solve the problem. Me, I'm not in that school of thought which can lower hospitals back to the lower grades. But we should continue giving them their level. I don't know where you can get land to expand at Kawempe. That's another question you have. I don't know. So, but I would pray that if Kawempe, you are saying what you are giving to our chair is the sole truth, because you will bring us there. You have some positive, but in
a lot
accounts,
of positives. A lot of positives.
No, I'm very careful. I reserve some for myself. Otherwise, I might end up remaining with nothing. And yet the accountabilities are coming very soon. When the chair takes us there, there will be other questions against you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be appearing if everything was a bed of roses. You would not be coming here.
Thank you, Honorable. Accounting Officer, we take note of the achievements in Kawempe, but just know in the public, the outcry is a lot. When people come to Kawempe, I don't know whether you still have those tents out there.
We have tents for attendance, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we still note that the capacity is still very low because of the overwhelming numbers. I don't know where you put the excesses, but take note that there are so many complaints in the public when it comes to the services. Because remember, much as you are saying you are doing a lot, but also those that are not served are many because of the constraints that they are in terms of staff, in terms of space. You know, once one moves out of the hospital without getting a service, automatically one dissatisfied patient can cover up the 10 that are, that go to the service. So for our interest is to have standard services delivered to our people in the line of medical. If what you are saying is true, we commend you for giving free medical care, especially in the C-section and normal deliveries, if they are for zero payment, really.
Yes.
We want to appreciate you, though. What you say and the practice is different. We are yet to find out, but we are telling us leaders that people pay when people come to Kawempe. There is no free service when it comes to delivery. Nothing. Just take it from us. People pay money much as it's not receipted, but you cannot just access the operation table or the operating table free of charge. You cannot. I'm telling you, no one can take up that lie. We know the charts are put, this is a free service, but that ends up at the notice board. When it comes to the physical interaction with those giving the service, it is different. We have the Masaka Regional Referral Hospital. Women have been coming back to their homes selling goats, selling chicken, purposes of getting medication. This has happened, but we commend you if it's a free service.
It is.
This side claps for you, but
thank you.
We commend you for that. We have undercover bosses here.
Yes,
they will
please.
come. They will come with their wives. These ones don't have girlfriends. They have wives. They will come with their wives and. Honorable Baswira's wives have been charged money. But
Honorable Baswira has her keys.
It takes them to level 6, so you can afford level 6. Honorable colleagues, we go to 3.5 performance of GOU warrants. With this budget of 23 billion, is it enough for Kawempe National Referral Hospital?
No, it's not enough at all. As I have already outlined the challenges. There are gaps in different areas. in maintenance, in even in drugs and supplies. We have 6.5 billion at NMS, but we will do better with more, so that we cut shortages of those.
You
some
need
of
to
those
give
drugs.
us a true picture. For example, if one asked for what would be the most appropriate, by standard, a budget for Kawempe to ensure that people get the adequate services that they are meant to. What would be your appropriate budget if one gave you an open check for you to really make a suggestion of the budget that would be suitable for Kawempe National Referral Hospital?
Chair, that's a difficult plan. Can you answer that? According to the plan we have made, you mean for drugs alone or just general?
The overall hospital planning.
Honestly, I cannot give a proper answer, but
I can take you back to your strategic plan. I take you back to your strategic plan.
Yes.
Much as we have decided to skip that because the issues are many. When you look at your strategic plan, you had a shortfall of 56%. You had planned for the 4 years to have 204 billion. You got, the actual was 89, a shortfall of 115 billion. So, you know, the reason as to why we ask for a question, what would be the suitable budget? Because you normally submit your budgets and you have unfunded priorities.
Yes.
That is what we are speaking to, that if somebody asked what would be the most suitable and appropriate budget for Kawempe National Referral Hospital for a year annual, what would be the suitable budget for to have you funded at a standard level?
That's why I don't want to tell
No, the person who
lies.
is in charge should take up that responsibility.
We have a strategic plan where we have estimates, and of course they change per year. For example, if there is expansion, the budget will change, but
then there you have a problem. The reason as to why you have a strategic plan for 5 years, the assumption is that you ought to have made projections.
Yes, please. We have them.
So if there is a variance, normally it is supposed to be minimal.
So, Senior Planner, can you answer that?
Thank you, Chair. Of course, we acknowledge the funding gap you indicated according to the audit report. And of course, as indicated in our response, this was due to the underfunding by Ministry of Finance. But according to the new strategic plan, of course, our estimates show that the hospital requires about 75 billion to run efficiently.
What would be a suitable budget for drugs and medical supplies?
The estimate, according to our budgets for the current year, I think we are at about 14 billion.
How much do you get?
We have 6.5.
6.5.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
Then under maintenance, what's your budget versus actual?
I request the engineer to speak to that.
What is the budget for maintenance of equipment and what would be the appropriate?
Right now, we receive on average 400 million per quarter. So
you give the annual figure.
That's
1.6 billion.
Hey.
That's what we receive right now.
What would be the most the appropriate figure?
So the appropriate figure would be, let me just check here. The appropriate figure is 1.7 billion.
So this means if you are given 1.7 million for medical billion for medical repairs, you are well to go.
Yeah, of course, equipment keeps depreciating by the year they run. So this maintenance money literally is covered within that period of a year. So as equipment keeps running, the maintenance costs keep increasing because of the performance of this equipment.
No, for now we are looking at we shall look at the future later, but we are looking at the current status. We are saying if Kawempe National Referral Hospital is given 1.7 billion, it is enough to cover the repairs and maintenance that are required under medical.
Yes.
I doubt. But you can look through. I doubt whether what you are speaking to is well researched and sourced.
No, it is not.
It can't
fair.
be.
It isn't.
It cannot be. So we have looked at your budget. Let's go back to performance of NTR. You had budgeted to collect 500 million. You later on collected 619, 24% excess. That is 3.6, eh?
Yes, please.
What are your sources of the NTR? You told us. Then what made you collect more? Is it because of the underestimation? Yes, it's a plus on our part because government needs money. But what was so unique that was done for you to score beyond the estimates?
I think the main reason was URA is now interlinked via the EAFIA. So I think some patients, there were leakages of patients. Because to have a scan now, you order it through the system, the digitalized system, which URA has now linked up. So you cannot access the scan without a receipt, without having it, because it's ordered through the system. I think that's the main thing. This happened.
Yes, Honorable Songo.
But Mr. Kawempe, Doctor, the auditors are saying you told them that why the increase in neonatal was due to the decrease in waivers. I want you to explain on waivers because in waivers and deployment of your system, which you have explained already. So which waivers were there? Because now when you talk about waivers, I look at my local patients, say, now that you are patient, we can reduce by 200.
So can a
but now all those waivers were reduced. Who are the beneficiaries of the waivers and what kind of waivers were there? Because that's what increased your NTR against what you had projected. And if it is disadvantaging your patients by those, because waivers are meant to help the one who is complaining. A waiver is a waiver. I don't know that you are getting me, Doctor.
I get you.
Could you explain that? Because it might be an infringement on the beneficiaries as a result of their failure to meet your costs.
Okay. Through Chair, that was the other reason. What I remember, I am not sure what the auditor was talking about, but our CT scan was down for some time, and repairing it took a lot of money. It was over 100 million. So we agreed with my team that we should remove waivers on CT scan, just as like I know in some hospitals, MRI you cannot access it you cannot be waived if you go to hospitals. So possible, we also usually to have 100% waivers for our fellow staff from our sister hospitals. According to the new guidelines now, they are the waiver should not exceed 20%, according to the new guidelines which we are using for private services. So, but we have found it very difficult, and now we have again instituted automatic waiver for any patient who comes as an emergency or who the specialist at his discretion sees that this patient is unable to pay. So if a majority of our patients come sometimes as emergencies and someone has difficulty in breathing, needs an X-ray, so that one is automatic waiver. They straight away go for the X-ray without going through the system. So that's how, that's what I can say, that's what I know. I don't know that I've answered your question.
He answered me, meaning that once the repairs are done properly, we go back to the original system.
We hope actually to get, we have been promised
because Doctor, what you are saying is very pertinent and it's in a good spirit. It is a Christian, it is Islamic, it is faithful. once a patient comes and he has to be referred to the machine immediately because of his condition. You don't go through the system, pay this and that.
No.
Me, that's why I've insisted, Madam Chair, on the word waiver, because it's a remedy to save life. If it is not done in a bad spirit, because it can make a waiver as an advantage to someone.
Yes.
And later on say, but we did this.
That is the problem.
So kindly.
Chair, I have given instruction in writing, and every day we have meetings, that if a patient comes as an emergency, my team is here, that person should access the radiology services without asking anyone. This is the instruction. Now, this can be abused by some people where someone is not an emergency and is done. I think it can happen. But at least, because the reason for this instruction was sometimes you are in a meeting and they say the patient came, he was unattended, and X-ray had not yet been done. Because, for example, to access our ICU and you have any difficulty in breathing, you must have an X-ray. So that's why that instruction was given. Or emergency cases, access even where they are supposed to pay for free.
How much is your ICU?
Our ICU, we effective last financial when the guidance came out is 1 million per week for those who are able to pay. So on average, for example, we always have ICU 100% full, but on average, how much have been collecting per week? The accountant is here. We have not been collecting our target. We had targeted 2 million per week, but how much are we collecting on average?
Thank you, Chair. Currently, what we are actually collecting is they pay every day 143,000.
So on average per week, how much?
So on average per week is 1 million for 7 days.
And our target was supposed to be 2, but now the problem is majority of our patients are not able to pay, and to access ICU you don't have to pay.
Doctor, Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
Doctor, can I advise? Why do we, is it not a better approach that we budget for this little money and the patients in that hospital, moreover women of this country, receive a free service for all those CT scan, MRI, radiology, and all that? How about if we budgeted for it, and because we budget for consumables,
yes,
we budget for servicing and maintenance, can't we budget for that and we ensure that our people, you do not even have this problem of saying you are going through waivers of what, we just provide that service and say all women that come to Kawempe Hospital will receive this service, another free service added to the entire thing. So because every time I hear you saying that this is for NTR, it's as if there is a burden to collect NTR. But honestly, should we have a burden of collecting money when our women are dying, when our women are not receiving service? Because you yourself, you're saying they cannot afford. So wouldn't you advise that this service becomes free and we look through the budgets of this country and we provide that money?
Thank you very much for, I would agree with you entirely. And actually, concerning the ICU, it has always been free until the new guidelines. And I do not believe that there is anyone who wanted to access ICU and was stopped because of payment. Because it is the head of the ICU who is an anesthesiologist who assesses out of these patients who is able to pay. Otherwise, our ICU is actually almost free. Because as you know, ICUs, even in our national referral hospitals, for example, our sister referral hospital is 1.5 million per week. And actually, that's why we benchmarked. And when we presented the board, they said, let us start with last July, according to the guidelines, and let us put it lowest in the country.
Chair.
The problem we have been having.
Chair, through you, Doctor, we are not. My suggestion is not only on ICU. All those services you charge. Now you go through the hassle of knowing who can afford and who cannot afford. How about if you gave us, because I'm seeing your NTR is 500 million. Can't we really plan for 500 million? We put it part of our budget. Will it have increased a lot? And we provide that service. All of them, radiology, CT scan, wherever you're charging money.
I wish I had the powers or the whatever to do that. That would be, it would ease. So
actually, I was asking for advice from you. We know where to touch for that to happen.
I wish I had the powers. I mean, it would be the best, because you would then know that CT scan is free. You know, you would then not be what, but you remember we have the people with the law can help me.
Madam Chair,
the institution of
the doctor is spending time. Just say one thing: you don't charge because you want. You charge because you have no funds. Then we move. But if there were rooms for not charging,
there is a law.
They don't charge because they want to charge. They charge because there is an instruction that charge.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And that instruction is coming from Minister of Health.
So that's what I'm saying, that for him, he's taking more time on our side.
Doctor,
I don't charge because you want. Because
Doctor, you said the ICU is 1 million a week. Per week per patient.
For those who are
on average, for how long can somebody, stay in the ICU?
That is a very good question. On average, the mothers who are not referred. By the way, the problem we are having now, private ICU are referring patients who have failed to pay in their what? I won't mention the hospitals, but they are, and it's very difficult because they don't communicate. So you are there, you have freed one bed, you see a patient coming in an ambulance from hospital X. Now, on average, our mothers who even have complications, they resolve, for example, dialysis. You do 3 sessions of dialysis, the patient is okay. This is different from this kidney injuries of hypertension. These one, the kidney injuries caused by pregnancy-related complications, resolve so quickly. So, on average, 2-3 days, they are out of ICU. Then they go to HDU, and then they are discharged. But you have what we call chronic patients coming from other hospitals whom are presenting a problem, because we cannot send them back. They have brought a patient in an ambulance because of funds, of payment somewhere where they were paying 2.5 million per day. Now they have brought a patient to Kawempe. You get what I mean? Otherwise, our patients whom we design this ICU for, they recover quickly. 3 days, 4 days. Rarely do you get someone more than a week.
Okay. So you said you have 7 beds in the ICU?
4 functional beds now.
4 function.
They are supposed to be 7, but you know, for a bed to be functional, you have to have a lot of equipment, ventilators, so the other ones are not functional.
3 are not functional?
Yes.
But how I wish we had all the 7 functional.
Yes.
Because also 4 beds to Kawempe. You know, when you say we are of full capacity, one doesn't get surprised. The 4 people just. So I think we also need to ensure that all the beds, the 7, let them be fully operational. What does it require you to have them fully operational? Where is the problem?
The problem is the equipment. Because a normal functional vent is about 200 million to functionalize the bed. The bed actually is there, but the equipment supported to call it an ICU functional bed is the problem.
So, honorable colleagues, we take note, but it would be better to have the 7 operational.
Yes.
Considering the need of the ICU. You know, much as you are complaining, there are some people who are brought from the other side. How I wish the Ministry of Health, you know, we know it is it is with government, it's we operate in a, how do you call it, a free market economy. But also it is in the interest of government to somehow regulate the private sector. Because really a bed of 2.5 million every day, where can somebody get that money? So much as they are in private business, but there must be somebody to protect Ugandans from extortion, that payment of 2.5, because if government to some extent can subsidize and have it for free, why not the other side having something that we know it's their private businesses, but also extorting Ugandans is not, it's out 2.5 million is a lot of money. So somebody fails to pay the other side, then they bring you this side for free. It's also, it doesn't sound well, So it's better to protect either way, because those beds are very few considering the need and the demand in the country. They are very few. So doctor, how I wish you can push to have the 3 operational. A capacity of 7 beds fully functional, you can save a life. You can save a life. So honorable colleagues, we go to this issue of utilization of warrants. You did not utilize the 1.42 billion in the line of wage. Then some money under capital development and domestic and utility areas. What is this? Why did we fail to utilize the 1.4? And also update us on the areas that you have under water and electricity, that is utilities.
Thank you, Chair. The 1.4 billion is wage related. And you remember last time I appeared, I think it was there, the problem was the recruitment process. I remember the lifting of ban on recruitment came in December. Members, you can help. And then, but this money had been allocated in that financial year. So the recruitment actually began in April of that year. And the first deployment of the recruited staff came in October of 2025. So this money is pure wage and was not in our control.
How far have you gone with recruitment?
Fortunately, all were recruited, PHRO, all were recruited for this money, and that's why we moved from 36% to 47%.
Okay. Do you have any plans for recruitment in this very financial year?
Yes, please.
How many are we recruiting?
PHRO.
And what percentage do you intend to achieve in this financial year in terms of staffing? What are you adding in terms of percentage?
Thank you. PHRO, please.
The available balances allows us only to recruit 2 consultants and 3 support staff, and that will take us to around 40, from 47 to 48.
48%.
Yes.
Still very low?
Very low. Because for us to move from 47 to 68, what is our projection, would take us to 22 billion, and currently we are receiving 15 billion.
Yes, Honorable Song.
Mr. Accounting Officer, Doctor, why don't we develop a system? Well, Madam Chair, I think this is the key to recommend, to look at as a members. You know, 1.4 billion is employment for people who are not having jobs out there. And the approach on all entities is the same. You only wait, you say there was a problem. Can we suggest, in case you get challenges when you get such a kind of expenditure, please work with the sectoral committees, with your team, the chair, so that we push hard this people to get the public service to clear you and you employ people. Why? Many students, our sons, the grandchildren are out of school, they are looking for employment, but we are waiting for clearance from public service. And most of you don't show how you relate with the public service to cater for your recruitment process as a result of having money on your accounts. Then the money is swept back. When it's swept back, the auditors will accuse the accounting officer as it is indicated here. So I would suggest, Madam Chair, that we must have a serious recommendation, but it must come from them. You don't have attachments of how you are pushing public service to give you, to recruit staff for you. Yet, the workload stays on your fellow staff you work with.
Doctor, currently in your NICU, what is the patient to nurse ratio?
It is not good. It is because we have an average of 80 babies per day in 4 cubicles. There are at least 2 nurses. I know at night, at least 2 nurses. PNO, if you can correct me, there are at least 2 nurses per cubicle. That is 8 nurses per day. Yes. And in each cubicle, how many babies? 8 divided by 420. So that is 1 to 10. But remember, the recommended is 1 to 1 for these babies, these niche babies. Neonatal intensive care unit. The only good thing is during the day there are many staff. You have specialists, you have interns in each cubicle, not just the nurses. That's what saves us. Otherwise, the ratio is not
very abnormal. Very abnormal. What of the incubators capacity? Do you have? Are they enough, or you also the babies share?
They are not enough, but we have a special incubator called the 10 baby incubator, which is special in that it handles 10 babies. Those who have been to Kawempe, I think, have seen it, and it has monitors, so it reduces on the number of. It helps to optimize the number of staff we use because it has monitors. So one nurse can handle 10 babies because of that incubator. Because it alerts when there is an oxygen problem, when there is any problem, it just gives an alert. It helps us a lot. We have 2 of them, so already those are 20 babies. We have 2 of those 10 baby incubator. I think in the country we are the only ones with them. But there is shortage of staff definitely because
Sorry to intervene. You have talked about oxygen with those 10 incubators. But here the auditors on page 22 where we shall get, the oxygen sensor had very low product purity reading. I've read ahead. Low product purity reading, rate of 0.1 on 14th October instead of expected rating of 97. This is attributed to delayed service by Ministry of Health.
If I can answer that, Chair. If I can answer that, the biomedical engineer is here.
I've just pushed it that way because I think he might not come back.
Yes, if I may answer that, we have sensors all over. So in special care, and actually they were able to see that. Sometimes we have electricity outages, and our generators, our automatic generators, take 40 seconds to go on, and these. So that's where such a thing happens. The remedy for that, we have standby cylinders, oxygen cylinders, in ICU, which we should not be having. We should be having just piped oxygen. So sometimes the oxygen in the sensors goes down, but this is usually temporary. This is one thing we have been monitoring. That's why our generators are always automatic. They are automatic. Within 40 seconds, once power goes off, they automatically go on because of this niche. This is a very sensitive area.
Doctor, we were thinking about having full-time supply of electricity hydro to hospitals without, because we are telling Chirudu here and even Mulago and Butabika, hospitals are in a special category. We generate power. We even have dimmed energy, the one that is generated but not distributed. We have even capacity to sell to other countries. How can we have power outage in hospitals? Much as you said that in 40 seconds the generator will be off. But I mean, with technicalities, it can fail. And we have lost babies. Doctor, you cannot say that it can be automatic as you say. So this kind of having power outage in hospitals should be full time, except under circumstances where there are mechanical, challenges. But at least those can be communicated. We can afford to have that as a country. So really, we it's not being political, but if we can have full-time power supply in the state houses, state lodge, those ones, power doesn't go off. For me, colleagues, for me, I have a baby who was a neonate. Mary knows by then it was Masaka Regional Referral. But I know what I went through. 1 kg baby, I know what it means. That power off for even a second, I'm telling you can lose life. You can. So don't joke around. When we talk about these issues, those babies are dear ones to some people. You people getting a baby is not easy nowadays. Yeah? So the things of telling us, power is on, so 40 seconds it will be on. In those seconds, you can lose someone. So let's push for having full-time supply of power hydro in hospitals. That can be achieved by this country. We rather fail to have it in our homes, but hospital is a place that every one of us can go to. It's not pleasant, but at times you have no option. We shall get there. There are things that a country can afford. But it hurts losing a patient because of power outage. Yeah? Then when we talk of these bloggers, Tavaku Main, you get 5 billion Tavaku Main. Even if you sing Tavaku Main how many times when people have lost lives, it won't count. So for me, I think as long as we push for these are recommendations that can be picked up by high authorities. But the passion for the medical sector, that should be non-negotiable. There is no extravagance when it comes to spending money in hospitals. So, doctor, for me, when it comes to the issue of the neonates, the NICU, it is an area that must not have any shortages in staff, those things, because those babies are very vulnerable. Critical, they need extra care. So, honorable colleagues, we move to that has been utilization of warrants. Then we go to implementation of planned activities. Assessment of your performance as an entity in regard to efficiency. This is 3.91. We go straight to the congestion at the hospital. The auditor noted that the patient caretakers have no waiting and resting areas. And as such, they wait and rest from the corridors of the hospital. This creates congestion at the hospital. The pictures are given of patients, caretakers sleeping in corridors. Yes, we know most hospitals in Uganda are going through the same. But tell us what plans do you have for Kawempe? You told us you're about to expand, but this is also too much. This brings us back to the health center force you were speaking to. We should invest in elevating those ones to hospitals at a district level, so that these other cases don't come to Kawempe. Because the reason as why we are congested is because some of us who are not meant to come to Kawempe, we do so. So this is your area. Advise to have systems and structures that where people, because what somebody is looking for is a service. But also locality is also important, because you can't tell somebody to come from Kawempe and then go to either Chisenyi or Kawala. Proximity also, But equipping, having facilities at these lower levels, decongest, that is the rationale. We need to have these national facilities decongested, because much as you may get space for Kawempe, as long as you don't keep your lane, you'll find yourself congested even in areas where you ought not to have been. But you can speak to this. Yes, Honorable Seungu.
Mr. Accounting Officer, in your response as per congestion, you are talking about you engaging the surrounding neighbors to acquire the adjacent land, and the acquisition of processes so far for some of the land is past the valuation level. Is there an attachment with this on your annexures here? And you continue to engage the Ministry of Health, Finance, Parliamentary Health Committee, provide funding for the acquisition of land. But in Kawempe, I can attest to this, doctor, where you have latches in getting this fund, you will not get that land. Don't you think that people don't have money here? Traders have their money and they are building their hotels, and Kawempe is very marketable. So you do update this committee. How fast are you moving? Because evaluation, you are good with the owner of land that is keeping it specifically for government, Isn't that land raising value day by day? Because there is no way you are going to improve Kawempe without acquiring land within the vicinity. But people who are fighting for land are not only government. Even traders, businessmen want land. Could you tell us how far? Because you have told us valuation level. Then what is stopping you? Have you gone into execution of agreements with a landowner? Have you... What is exactly happening?
Thank you.
Doctor, as you do respond, I want you to comment on the congestion versus access to the sanitary places, the toilets. Because normally we leave this one out, but that congestion at the end of the day affects the toilets, the sanitary places we go to. How do you handle it?
Thank you very much, Chair and members. Congestion has been a perennial problem at Kawempe National Referral Hospital. As you can see, 200 bed capacity, you have 350 patients in the hospital. It has been a very big problem, and we had devised several means. First, we have been building capacity in the lower units, particularly Kawala, Health Center 4 and Kisenyi. For example, we had started, even now, a sort of small niche in Kawala and Kisenyi, so that they are able to handle the asphyxiated babies that don't need vents. So that is one. We have what we call the Kampala Local Maternity and Neonatal System, which you must have heard about, where there is accountability. It's an accountability platform where before you refer a mother, you call and you can be helped even without, for example, you can offer technical advice on phone, how to handle a mother who is bleeding, so that eventually some of them don't end up congesting us. Concerning the land, the attachment plan, I hope you have it. There is land next to the hospital. It was, I think, 0.5 acres, half an acre, which had been, actually when I came in 3 years ago, it had, they had the government value. We had reached that stage, but we didn't get funds. But good enough in this budget, I hope, that they have promised 18 billion. And there are many people waiting around the hospital, except one actually. North of the hospital, there is land which is in wrangles with the late owner. But all around the hospital, they are willing to sell. The plan, our senior planner is heading the committee of people. I think they have met them. He can give updates on where they have reached.
Thank you, Director and Chair. The process is ongoing. Once we got the MTF in February, in the second BCC, we were able to constitute a committee, and we have had several engagements, so far about 3 with the community, and they are willing. We have started the process. Some of them have already submitted their titles and the copies of identification. We are now doing searches. But like he said, we already had one who had reached evaluation, so we are going to redo that evaluation to get the exact value, because that one was done 3 years ago. But as of now, most of them are willing, and they have submitted the documentation of ownership, and the process has already started. We hope by end of April, May, will be done with the valuation, and will be going into agreements. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sir.
Can we be finished with some of the necessary documents? Because those are attachments for our report. Then lastly, what is your policy on caretakers of patients? In Uganda, even in Mulago, everywhere, someone has a patient because they did the photographic interpretation. And when you look at these pictures, you can see that the ones behind this door with the signposts, this might be one family with one patient. They can't be 2 patients. I don't know. Madam Chair, I'm taking keen interest. I know why I'm asking their policy. Some time back, you know where I come from, there's a missionary hospital, Villa Maria. The law was clear. Every patient has only one caretaker. and you have space for that person. These congestions sometimes come by, you cannot stop these people from coming to look after their patient. But now, if you congest your place by a patient having, or like the number you have come with, to be on that.
Haji has 4 wives and all of them want to.
Yes, but Haji. Yeah, but there must be some controls. Otherwise, you have a challenge on your sanitation, you have a challenge on utilization of your water, you have a challenge on power and cleaning the hospital. These are facts you can't run away from. We also visit patients. That's why you give hours of visiting patients. At 1, you enter. At 2, you can't see doctors are working. But the moment you have laxity with the poor police at your hospital, that someone, say, who is a name of people from Kalungu, all his supporters have to sleep there to see how they look after him at the hospital. The way we go to prison when we are arrested, you know what we do in court. Doctor, kindly help us on that. There is nothing wrong. We are not against patients coming, no, visitors coming to the hospital. But once they stay there, the impact is on you, and the auditors will observe. You take keen interest on these pictures, go back to your hospital, and we take a survey daily, not attacking those people, and you know one patient having over 10 people. These are facts. Then the policy is not on your side to manage those people. I think, I don't know.
Chair, I totally agree with you, Honorable, that we have a big problem with attendance. The policy is clear and is on the gate. Even in the visiting hours should be 1 patient, 1 attendant. The problem, you all know, deliveries. When a mother has delivered, it is there are so many people. We have devised means, cards, enforcement. We go, then we get so many complaints. Our security, whatever they start, it is one of our biggest problem. That's why we have a tent for attendants. That's why we actually have 2 tents.
Doctor, people's excitement is one of your biggest problems.
Why, doctor? For me, those who come to bring their cards have no problem. One time, I want to put it on record, my boss, I was teaching at Shimoni then, Mr. Musaz became sick, Madam Chair. And those who were at floor 6 at Mulago, everybody, even me, I teach, I wanted to sleep there. Because he said, what if this man comes out, he has healed and he never saw me sleeping here. Maybe I cannot become, he will not give me a class head. But I don't know, doctor. What I'm saying is true. Visitors are welcome at the right time. You can't stop them because even you give us. But those who come and domicile there, you find a family is domiciling there because they have 1 patient, but they are keeping at the hospital more than 10 on 1 patient. The impact on your resources.
True. Yes. 100% true. Yes.
You know, some cultures call for that. When somebody falls sick, you all must surround the patient. So, but we need to regulate. Sincerely speaking, we need to regulate. And you know, it's only that we don't, our communication strategy is not good. But people can comply. I'm telling you, as long as we do communicate, and people know that, you know, when you go to this place, they allow only this number of attendants. People will make shifts. They know that when somebody comes in this time, you should come at this time because the hospital only allows this. But because of the compromises you do on those few, on some others who have classified, you know, classified attention. But for me, I think it's for the benefit of every one of us. First of all, it is dangerous to the patients. The minute you come in infections and these others, you come in a ward, this one has the flu, the other one has this. Even we infect the patients. So for me, I think if we regulate for the good of either the patient or the caretaker, it's in the interest of every one of us. I mean, if you regulate, people can follow it. So doctor, in your profession, think about it. Think about regulating caretakers. Could be even that can take us back to giving us food in hospitals. As long as it's regulated, you can find yourself affording a few things because we are a cost. When I come with the water, the sanitary places, the routine of using them at the end of the day is a cost to the hospital. As we cut those abnormal costs, you may find yourself giving a service that you ought not to have given because of the savings that you do make here and there. So these are things we should think about. As we elevate the status of our hospitals, we should also stop that culture of having the whole family sleep around. We can see how to make shift within ourselves and and for the good of the patients. So, honorable colleagues, we take note of the congestion at Kawempe. Then utilization and maintenance of medical equipment, we talked about those, but our interest is on these ones that are non or semi-functional. The ultrasound portable scanners, this had multiple breakdowns. Speak about the scanner.
Thank you, Chair. This scanner actually was not, it was the battery. I think the biomedical engineer can come in. But we have about 10 ultrasound scanners which are functional to the extent that even in labor ward, we have a scan station in labor ward. We have a scan stationed almost everywhere. Actually, one of the most efficient clinical service doing Kawempe scanning, as expected, because you want to know that this baby is alive. You want, So this particular one, we don't have any scan that is not functional. This particular one was the biomed. This was the battery of the scan at that time.
But they say it is old.
It is old. That's true. Yeah. That's true. There are scans which are old. The good thing with our partnership, we have several partners. Sunbig, they have donated equipment in this area. So right now, as I talk, we have about 11 scanners, and we don't have some of the scanners were the old scan machines were obsolete and do you call it what is it? Disposed of. For this ABG machine, this is an arterial blood gas machine which should be in emergency units, but in our area should be in ICU. This machine is the reagents are so expensive. So this is a machine which measures the acidity or alkalinity of blood, the oxygen, the carbon dioxide, within the blood. So for patients who are critically ill, the problem is they are not reagents, they are cassettes you use. To do a test, you use a cassette. Very expensive. It's about 70,000 every time you do a test. So we are not able we cannot afford those cassettes. That's why it's not. The machine is functional, but to use it, for example, you have 4 patients in ICU. In a day, you can spend more than 1 million on one patient. Just check the gases, because they change as the person changes the condition, the gases change. So they are mainly in advanced. I'm not sure they are anywhere in Uganda in ICUs. Maybe these very expensive hospitals.
So should we say that it's now redundant?
It is redundant. I would agree it is redundant.
Why did we buy it? Didn't we make
we
an
didn't
assessment?
buy it.
Who gave
This
it?
was, I found this machine. I think it came with the designation of the hospital. These are equipment which came with the hospital 7 years ago.
It was a donation?
No, at the inception of the hospital.
No, whether at inception it is either bought or donated. It can't come for free.
It was bought.
Yeah, because if we buy such machines, we must also be in the know of how they will be used and affordability. Yes, Honorable Sir.
Because, Doctor, actually I was going to raise the same and you have given the answer, but it's known, it's common knowledge, and you know it better than me, that even these whites can give you machines free of charge as long as you buy their reagents, because the purpose is buying reagents and consumables. But the process, the problem with you is not preparing in advance to set off those machines if they are not serving. Because once the auditors find them, they believe that they are supposed to be doing their normal job, and it becomes an audit query. Such queries will not be appearing. And at the bottom, here on page 18, They are saying the failure to utilize equipment implies that the purpose for which the equipment was provided was not achieved, which negatively affects service delivery. That one remains as a query. Why don't you, in your system, how do you write off a machine? How do you say now we are no longer, because the reagents are very expensive, and you could educate us whether now machines they are bringing in modern technology, they are not requiring reagents for that particular purpose of the same which is given
Yes,
here.
Honorable Elijah.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think there's a bigger problem than even that. Because first of all, I think there was need for this machine to be part and parcel of the machines in the hospital. And I guess there is somebody who was recruited to operate this machine. Now, if there are no consumables, what are we paying that person for? Even if you look at it from that angle. Do we have a person who was recruited to operate this machine?
No, sir. These are point of care, what they call point of care machines, bedside, which are bedside, which are operated by the same staff. Just like you say glucometer. Yourself at home, you can use a glucometer. Just prick, put in a glucometer, read there.
Chair.
So this is a point of care machine
Chair.
that checks the blood gases of a patient in ICU. So there is no specific recruitment for.
So if it's meant to do that, now when you have patients in ICU, so you don't do that test?
No, we use clinical judgment now.
You see, where we are using part or option B. But I think we need to put it to the ministry, because why can they provide money for it? Because there was a need, there was a purpose for it. There was a purpose for it. Why did we, when that hospital was being established, because at that level of hospital, I think it's required by its level to have that type of the machine. Because otherwise this is wasted money. This is wasted money. You
And
can't
the longer it stays, I mean, it will depreciate.
Or possible. I know government doesn't do it, because if you can't, then possibly you would have given to private hospitals, because people who go there can afford to pay such that they are able to consume. Because either way we are losing. So what is your advice in the absence of money for buying the consumables? What do you advise?
Honorable Samba.
Chair, I just get concerned when he was explaining the purpose of the ABG machine. So the entire hospital relies on only one. Even the ultrasound scanner, even when you're planning to procure, you're planning to procure one.
The ultrasound scanner?
Yeah. Because according to your explanation, at least this one you agree it is absolute, but you're planning to buy another. The question, would you really be looking at one, or you're still waiting for donations?
Doctor, response.
Thank you. I stated, I think the Honorable maybe missed it. I said we have one equipment which we have enough, I would say we have enough, are ultrasound machines or ultrasound scanners. I said even in labor ward we have a machine. In the gynae, in different wards we have scans, what we call scanners. For the ABG machine, what would be my recommendation? I would push that to, because as I said, it's not a sustainable equipment. These are, maybe to clarify, this is a small equipment.
Chair.
Why don't we allow him to first respond, Honorable? Let him respond first, Honorable. And
Chair, I would like him to respond, but what he speaks there on the microphone is different from what he wrote in his management response. For example, he has said they have no luck in ultrasound scan, but here he wrote, while we continue with routine repairs as an interim measure, management has included a request for a new, more robust ultrasound machine in our budget for 26-27. That's what you responded in writing.
Yes.
Okay? But what you're explaining here on microphone is that there is no need to worry. The machines are available. And you look like safe. You can as well just dispose of this one and it stops being an audit query.
That's correct. I said we have got partners who have donated ultrasound machine, even this particular year. That's why we have most of these ultrasound machines, particularly UNICEF, Maristops Uganda, those two donated very sophisticated ultrasound machines which we are using. So as we talk now, we do not have a need for an ultrasound machine. However, for the arterial blood gas machine is important for, as I said, critically ill patients, because you want to know what is happening in the patient. It is so expensive that, honestly speaking, the cassette which you use to check the reagents, you use to do these tests, we cannot afford. It is not sustainable. So right now, what we are doing, this machine, what does it do mainly? The acidity of blood, what we call the pH, the oxygen, the partial pressures of oxygen, partial pressures of carbon dioxide, as this person is struggling to breathe. The other reagents, the other tests it does, like electrolytes, potassium, sodium, these can be done in our lab. So what we are using now is clinical judgment. This person is now breathing like this, carbon dioxide is high. That we are not able to do this on, because of that one factor, the expense of the reagents, not of the machine. Actually, there are many people willing to press the machine as long as you buy the reagents. But the reagents are not even in national medical store, because these are very expensive reagents that you cannot sustain to buy.
Okay, honorable colleagues, we go to, we've talked about the equipment. This is inadequate equipment, and one is the radiology. The in-adult ICU, the gynecology theater, the NICU, and the special unit, the special care unit. The author looked at the radiology. The hospital needs an MRI machine. Don't you have one?
No, we don't have an MRI machine.
What plans do you have, and what's the impact of this?
The MRI machine is a very expensive equipment. I think now it's in the billions. So as a hospital, honestly, with the budgets that we have, the good thing we don't, it would be a good addition, but this is an equipment which is mainly needed, for example, for brain. So right now we are using the CT scan, which is doing wonders. If we got this machine, we would be happy. We would be very happy. So but with the budget we have.
Doctor, Doctor, you were explaining, you've explained two things. You said you can do without it. And at the same time, you're saying,
when you get it,
if you got it, the better. So what is it? Now, doctor, let me ask you, or if you're referring a patient to Nakasero Hospital, how much is that patient charged for an MRI service?
Someone can help me. I have not referred one. Okay, how I can say?
Is at Kampala, because it is either at Kampala Hospital, or how much?
I don't know how much an MRI is, but I know the CT scan. Yes, please.
They usually charge about 600 and above for MRI per scan. That is most private. That is IHK, Ruby's, and Nakasero.
Please, Those things were even going above 1 million some time back. And I don't know whether government is controlling, even the private practitioners. Me, I never got good results from MRI. I got my results from Chirudu. I spent 1.5 and Chirudu took 250 to find my problem. By the way, I will never forget, I even have tried it in my
your will,
not in my will, because I will not be giving property which does not belong to me. But doctor, that one will not eat as you will sit in your management with the Ministry of Health. So many people are buying these machines to make business. And they are not doctors, they are not trained, but because they don't know and they are employing anybody.
The fact is we need to
when we finish this meeting, I will tell you an interesting story about what I saw in Ruby.
Doctor.
Yes, Honorable.
Me, the experience I have is that was from my late father, but I don't know whether this is a service that is needed by women for the care you do at Kawempe Hospital, because we've been here with the Mbara Hospital and they have one. Mbara Hospital is a regional referral hospital. Now, if they have one, what about a national referral hospital like Kawempe? Unless you convince us that probably in the care you give, it is not a necessity. That's why you think it may not be a key necessity.
Thank you. We, in fact, not occasionally, regularly get, especially these hypertensive diseases in pregnancy, we get mothers who have bleeds in the brain, and that's why our CT scan is very, very, very crucial. Because once someone has intracranial hemorrhage, then that becomes a neurosurgical case. We refer these mothers, and many have been saved. Now, there are cases where you need an MRI, but this is not a regularly needed equipment. That's what I can say. Now, if you compare with Mbarara, where they have a neurosurgeon and a lot of trauma cases, definitely that is needed very much, more than Kawempe.
We take note of the MRI. Then when it comes to the adult, in the adult ICU, the auditor notes that the unit requires 5 new ICU beds as a replacement of the current old ones, the current ones which are worn out. Further, the hospital also requires an additional 8 infusion pumps to ensure that each bed has at least 3 infusion pumps. The current monitors lack accessories including probes and therefore can't be used for functions such as temperature measuring. The unit also requires a mobile X-ray to eliminate patient movement, radiology for X-ray services as these are high-risk patients. Tell us about the adult ICU.
Chair, as I already said, we have a 7-bed, if fully functional ICU. This is adult ICU, specifically designed to handle complications of obstetrics. So they are specifically for women. Now, out of the 7, as I already said, 4 are fully functional. These, at that time when the auditors came, the connection they are talking about were not there, but they are cheap. We have since bought them. I mean, the codes you connect to measure temperature, to measure pulse, those ones are there. So the 4 beds are functional. Of course, they are old because they are about 4 years old. But what we need now is the accessories to the beds for the 3 non-functional beds in the adult ICU. As I said, now within that adult ICU, 2 of the beds are being used for dialysis. We were lucky to get together with working with the children to get dialysis machines. So right now, as I talk, we do dialysis within the adult ICU, because most of the mothers are very sick. They not only need ICU, but they also need their kidneys to be functional. That's what I can say about that. Working with our partners, particularly UNICEF, they had promised us vents, but they have not yet delivered them. But we are hopeful that maybe by the end of this year, all the 7 beds in adult ICU will be functional.
The author says some of these were worn out. The 4 that you talk about, the ones which are functional, you said they are old. Are they old but can serve the purpose? You know, once somebody says they are worn out.
I wouldn't say they are worn out. They can serve the purpose because the attached equipment is okay. Not that they
but
can.
We are talking about
they are serving the purpose. Because as I talk now, there are patients there.
No, a patient, you know, a patient can be anywhere. You have no choice. If you are taken to a bed, whether it is about to fall in, you have to. What do you do? And those are patients in critical care. Do they have a choice?
No,
whether it is worn out or not. Actually, a patient will even not know. It is you who will know the status of the bed where you've put me. So,
Chair, I wouldn't, to my knowledge.
You need to get an update. The author can't just give such a
biomedical engineer. Can you
redundant? This worn out cannot be redundant, doctor. It can't.
The biomedical engineer who deals with them on
Sir,
a daily.
Are the beds okay? And if we get there when they are not okay, what do we do?
I would agree with my director. It is true. Some of these beds have served for over 4 years now. So there are 2 specific beds that would be considered for replacement. But just like he has earlier alluded, we suffer the issue of cost. For example, a proper ICU bed.
No, you know, the issue of cost is not the query here.
Yes.
We are saying the bed is old. For you, your answer would be old or not.
Yes.
The cost of a bed for now is not the issue. Because you cannot say that the fact that it is expensive, we will use whatever is available, not.
Yeah, so out of those 7, I would say 2 of them are old.
So, doctor, we should take note of that. Because for you are planning for the 3, but also the 4, 2 are faulty. So you can, you know, that's why I was saying at the beginning that at times giving us quality service looks to be a favor. It's not. Because one is in a critical condition, for you can even make them lie down because you are the ones to make a choice of how you should treat them. So, doctor, we should get concerned of the beds, otherwise the author cannot give a redundant observation. So when it comes to the gynecology theatre, the unit requires at least 2 additional sanction machines, 1 additional, what is this?
That is page what? Page 21.
The
laparoscopy tower.
And 2 operating beds to replace the current ones which are worn out. The unit has 3 theatres, each with 2 oxygen outlets currently used for restating babies. However, the unit only has 2 oxygen heads for the 6 provisions which are inadequate, and therefore require 4 additional oxygen heads. What is that?
The heads sort are where you connect the tubes to give oxygen. I think the auditors were too detailed. So we have 5. We have 5 operating theaters. 3 of them are obstetric, that is the pregnant mothers. 2 of them are gynecological, and they have so many equipment within there. So the operating beds are worn out. We have since got operating beds. I think we even have one in reserve.
We released it.
Because of we released it. So this is one area where we cannot have, as I told you, 24 hours the operations are going on. So we usually have, and these beds are not that expensive. You can get an operating bed at around 25 million. Of course, they are different classes, but at least for our class, it is not the best operating bed, but it does the work. So we don't have an issue now with operating beds as I talk.
But you had it then,
Yes. Okay. We don't have any issue with the oxygen heads. We bought all of those. Most of the issues raised here, we don't have. As I talk now.
As we talk, I can agree with you, but by then there was a problem.
Yes.
And for you, I thank you for speaking the truth, that the auditor was he went to every specific, but you know, they don't come as auditors only, they come with even fellow doctors of your caliber to carry out this audit. But if that's what you are saying, Madam Chair, I think I agree.
In the special care units, this is the NICU. It has 10 bed capacity supplied by 4 ventilators and 4 suction machines. Therefore, require additional 6 ventilators and 6 suction machines. An oscillator ventilator to deliver oxygen to the premature babies. The unit requires an echo machine, mobile X-ray, brain cooling head cap, and a double photography machine, as the current photography machine is insufficient to meet the current need of the babies with severe jaundice.
This is very true, Chair. We have a shortage of ventilators. As we said, the special care unit, this is the unit where the most prematures, you know, babies who need special care are. It has actually 14 bed NICU, neonatal. Within the special care unit, there is a neonatal intensive care unit. And as I said, we have 6 functional beds, but we need more than, we need at least like, because we have many babies who actually need NICU services. These are referrals from all over. So we still need a lot of equipment in this area.
The inadequate budget, we spoke to that. I doubt whether we need, inadequate budget for maintenance. Though to our disappointment, your technical person did not know the exact figure that he would need for maintenance, which is very regrettable. Honorable Songo.
Madam Chair, I think the problem is on Mr. Accounting Officer and your team. Here, you have provisions of the law as stated by the auditors. Section 645, Government Asset Management Framework, plus the Treasury Instructions, paragraph 1691. You have to budget for the maintenance. Whether these sections, according to the auditors, they are saying you should budget. You want 20 billion. Even if it's more than your estimated budget, you give it as money for maintenance. But what their complaint is, you budget lower because what comes for finance is lower than what you want. So you are used that even if we budget for what we need, they will give us just peanuts. Can we kindly, it will be a remedy for you with the auditors to budget as required by the law. Then let the finance not give you the money, but for you, you say our maintenance needs 5 billion. Other than saying, when we budget 5 billion, they give us 500. Why waste all our paper by writing all this Rugambo? This is what the auditors are saying here. I don't know that you could note that.
Yes, Honorable Nsamba.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I understand the management response tries to clarify that they've negotiated for more money in this financial year's budget. But I wanted to hear, because the auditor is saying that the budget is insufficient, but never show us what remained unserviced. You had a budget of 1.7, they gave you 800 million, but the auditor doesn't show us that equipment A, B, C, D, remain unmaintained, unserviced because of minor budget. So you can help us, because you've negotiated an increment 1.6, I understand. How did you convince people without showing what you failed to maintain with a small budget?
Thank you. Not sure I've got your question. There are critical areas in the hospital where you must service the machines because they even indicate, you know, like these vents, once the service time reaches, they indicate there are monitors.
That's what I was saying, Doctor, that in the year under review, you didn't have budget.
Adequate budget.
Adequate budget. The question, what remained unworked on?
Okay.
That's the only way you can prove that you actually need the money.
For me, also, my question is similar to Honorable Samba. These auditors, they see, for them, they look at the money you require. But for you, your budget goes below, is insufficient. Now, if government has money, the accusation goes on you for what you budgeted. Because for them, they say, out of the required maintenance budget of 1.7 billion, this should be reflected within your, how do you call it, Honorable? The maintenance requirement in your budget. I don't know. You could help me.
To answer your question directly, we have so many equipment that need regular maintenance. For example, the mortuary fridges. We have 3 mortuary fridges. Yes. These need quarterly maintenance. We are doing them half yearly, biannually. We have, but as I said, the critical equipment are regularly serviced. This is the CT scan, this is the ultrasound machine, these are the equipment in the adult ICU and equipment in the NICU. Because you cannot use it if you have not maintained it. It will not even accept to be used. But we have other equipment that are heavy. For example, those fridges in the mortuary, which are not maintained as they should be maintained.
Honorable colleagues, we take note of the inadequate maintenance budget for Kawempe. This issue of delayed maintenance of the PSSA medical gases plant by the ministry. During the inspection of the medical equipment, the auditor noted that the oxygen plant that was supplied to Kawempe was not in use since March 2025 due to delayed maintenance by the ministry. Failure to maintain the equipment in time has affected its effectiveness in supporting the hospital with its oxygen requirements, since the equipment is non-operational for most of the time. The hospital has been forced to procure oxygen from other sources. So, Doctor, what's your response?
Thank you, Chair. We have 3 oxygen plants. This particular
operational to you, it has no effect.
No, it's not operational.
So it's not in any cost in any way to you.
No, it is not a cost to the hospital because it is under the Ministry of Health maintenance.
No, what I mean, because what was it meant for?
For filling the cylinders.
The fact that you can't fill them, what is the impact of this to you as the hospital? Does it mean that you can even dwell with it? Tell them to come and pick it.
No.
Tell them to come and take it.
No, there is an impact, definitely. That's why I said we are once a week or twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yes, you can go ahead, Parliament.
Yeah, so like he says, we require cylinders on a daily almost. These we use for bedside care, like resuscitating the babies. So in the event that the filling station is not working as it is now, we go to Namamve and pick twice a week cylinders, which we can use in the hospital. But the maintenance of these plants was retained by the Ministry of Health. They collectively procure the services because for the whole country. So they have different plants in the whole.
Do you have evidence that you notified them?
Yes,
that the machine,
yes, we do.
Please submit the evidence.
Okay.
Because anything that is idle out there, this is, I mean, there is no value for money. It was bought using taxpayers' money to serve a purpose. Now one cannot say because of failure to maintain, the machine is redundant and must move to Namave. That is money. Eh?
Yes.
Movement to Namave, I mean, has a cost to the hospital.
Yes.
I don't know whether when you are making your budget, you also planned those movements to Namave. You see? So the whole essence is the time this machine was installed in Kawempe, government needed it, except when a needs assessment was not done. But if done, you need the machine.
We need it, yes.
So is it too expensive? What reason does the ministry give, doctor?
Yeah, so at the last time we contacted, that was last week, they informed us the contracts are ready, but they are for clearance with the Solicitor General. So that is all they are waiting for, then they clear. They start
Yes,
to move
Honorable
around.
Wanda.
Thank you. Considering that you've been communicating with the ministry, could you be aware of the cost of you maintaining it, and you compare it with the cost of getting services from Namamve?
Yes, certainly we are aware of the we are aware of the cost it would take the hospital to maintain it, but still, because of the constraints of funds, some of these heavy plants and machineries, maintenance was retained at the center. So for us, we only consume the service, but the operations, I mean the maintenance operation activities, were retained by the ministry.
Yes, Honorable Song.
Madam Chair, when you are not the one using an equipment, sometimes you cannot know the value that comes from it, and so there can be laxity. I am looking at a possibility of Kawempe taking over the management. If this budget has been passing through the ministry, what is it difficult to have it pass through Kawempe?
It is one way of recentralizing by the ministry, but yes, Honorable
Doctor, there are things you will not be having on this in this audit query. You know, like in Masaka, the Masaka Regional Referral, they also have this oxygen generator. All those hospitals around they take there. I don't know whether I'm correct, but we take cylinders there from Villa Maria, Karungu, to help in getting oxygen. And I would think even you, Komamboga, I don't know those nearby, because Kawala, they're supposed to be getting oxygen using this particular. Now, you remember what we said some time back, that there are those emergencies where we have a waiver. The moment they come, we don't say, please, let us save life. In Kawempe here, you have birth and you call neuros, these younger babies. Neonates.
Neonates.
I will not learn the word very specifically because you know I'm a teacher and above all primary. So, but without oxygen, oh my God, without oxygen, because now how do you get oxygen you are using on those children? Okay. Kindly, we could be coming here, and what is pain for Madam Chair is that the problem is still as it was by the auditors. You would be telling us that as of now the machine is working, but in this one.
So let me clarify. I think we have 3 oxygen plants. 2 of the 3 are functional, and majority of oxygen, I would say about 98%, is through piping. It is only the areas, some few areas, especially when you need the cylinder oxygen, biomed, when do we?
Yeah, so we usually use cylinders for transporting within the wards. If a baby is born in, for example, theater or a labor ward, and they are not saturating properly, so they have to be transferred to the NICU on oxygen.
Yes. So what I am saying is, Honorable Seongo, is we do not have a situation where we don't have oxygen in the hospital. You would get disastrous results, especially in the special care unit. We do not have, we have 120 something cylinders, And we make sure, on average in a day now, we used to use a lot of cylinders before the piping. Now we reduced the reliance on cylinders by piping oxygen all over the pediatric department. So the oxygen consumption using cylinders is very, very low. I think we use less than 10 cylinders in a day. We used to use over 60 cylinders. So it is not that we have a situation where we don't have oxygen in the hospital.
You see, doctor, now what do we do? For us, we are here. Before our chair, even you are before the chair. The query is before us. We don't know what is there. You are telling us, but the query is about generation of oxygen.
No.
But this is what is here, doctor. So you confirm to that. You want that this machine is not of much necessity now as per what you have? Because you have said you have two. It is just, is it an emergency? It comes as an emergency. You are writing it off. Because you have to tell us, because for us we are not there. We are seeing oxygen here. Imagine this room being closed now. You're a doctor. And there's no room where you can get oxygen inside here. Outside they have it. But you are inside here. For us, we've got this record. Even if this copy is given to another external person who is not here, we say, hey, that hospital, generation of oxygen is not there. Remember what I said about the other hospitals, health centers next to you?
No, the chair, again, let me clarify. There is generation of oxygen in the hospital by the other two machines. In fact, one of them, global gases, is so big. But this is for piping in the system. It's not for filling cylinders. Now, the machine which is supposed to fill cylinders, which was filled when it was functional, actually, we used to give Kawara, Kesenyi, etc. It is for filling cylinders, is not for piping in the system. So there is generation of oxygen in the hospital for piping in all the wards, which is about 99% of the oxygen required.
Chair.
No, that's not the one for piping. Otherwise, it would be disastrous.
Chair, we are going to have a problem with the Kawempe, because my little expectation is that you prepared these management responses. At least we would begin with the explanation here for additions. Additions can come, but when we have what you have as written here. Madam Chair is giving piping as the solution, but here, one, they say they resolved the matter on oxygen.
Don't you think it's a disservice? Non-operationalization of the machine is a disservice to these other units, lower ones?
Okay.
Where do they now go for refills?
I know Kesenyi has an oxygen plant now, but let me say that, by the way, when this machine was installed, we didn't have these other two machines. So, for example, the global gas machine, which provides the majority of the oxygen.
That's why I said why don't you give it back to the ministry?
But we need it, and the minister has promised to, as he has said, it's this bureaucratic process of procurement of the contracts. As you know, if they have a contract with someone to service the machine, there is a whole process.
No, you know, that's where we go wrong. Processes are here to facilitate operations. Any process that it can't provide a timely service, can't necessitate you to get a timely service, then it's very useless. Because just imagine you are unable to provide a service because somebody is procuring a contractor to just service. We have incidents of emergencies, and we know how emergencies can be handled. You cannot say that the plant is idle for some good months, all years, and they are procuring a contractor. Doctor, for me, I think you can engage the ministry better than this, as they do procure a provider. And the longer it stays, the time they come to service, you will have bigger problems than there was. So for me, I think the ministry can do something as they process a contract with the service provider to permanently do it. They should have some emergency intervention to have the machine operation. Otherwise, you cannot say that, before I get a contractor, the machine should remain idle. So some of these things can be done in a different way. Honorable colleagues, we go to, as we conclude, let's go to the supplies in inadequate storage space. The last time we came, you were storing items on the floor. This time round, you come back. Please do.
Sir, I don't want to delay because the chair had taken us ahead. You have challenges on vaccines management. And I want to learn, can it be true? Do they steal vaccines also?
No.
Can they? Because vaccines, I don't know, you could guide me. I know they are managed by government hospitals only.
No, even private.
Even private.
Yes.
Then they steal them.
No, but they can't steal them because vaccines are free.
Why am I saying this? Here, he's saying the failure to appropriately track vaccine usage and details exposes the hospital to risk of vaccine misuse, theft and loss.
No, I can clarify that.
Let me first finish, if you allow me, through the chair. This also, these are statements from the auditors. The way they put theft. By the way, you know I'm a Catholic. You know that, doctor. At least you can see my rosary in my neck. I'm told people steal certain tablets and they mix them in food for some animals. The other ones we eat in the evening, roasted, to get them big size. And what have you? Muslims, forgive me. We normally, during the evening. And for me, in my village, there are very many. Madam Chair, you know my road from Munyendo to Karungu. I have many butchers of those animals. Now, theft of such vaccines, Ugandans are very smart. They might be using them for other purposes. But here it is stated. And for me, I don't take it lightly until you dispose it of, you disagree with the auditors. But their complaint here, the accounting officer was the response of the accounting officer was noted. However, upon verification, it was confirmed that the delivered transactions for the year under audit were not captured on the
AFIA, the electronic system.
The challenge here is that, yes, vaccines are there, leave the other issue of stealing them, but the maintenance and the records of the people who have got vaccines is not clear in your system. And that could be a very big problem. Remember, these days they demand for these vaccination cards. And in Uganda, people have been forging them. They do, most especially yellow fever. They do. So, could you clarify on that so that we go to where the chair was taking us? So that we don't want to take long.
Yes, Doctor.
Thank you, Chair. Let me clarify. We have within the hospital, everything is digitalized. So we get vaccines from the Ministry of Health through the district, which is the KCC, to the hospital. It's that was not, because this is beyond the hospital. Once we receive vaccine, they are put in the system, and issuance and everything is in the system. That one is perfect. But it is the vaccines that we get, and senior pharmacists, please add on. It's the vaccine that we get from the KCC. That process is one which is not, which was, so for them they want ordering of the vaccines, and once they reach the hospital, everything should be digitalized. But now the ordering system from the KCC is beyond our mandate. Can you add on, senior pharmacist?
Through Chair, thank you, Edie. Before we were getting supplies manually, like paperwork from Kawempe Health Center 3, which is our health sub-district, and would now record them in a stock card. But apparently, like my ED has explained, we have the e-supply chain management system in the hospital. So we still receive them through the manual process from Kawempe, because we are not interconnected as far as the supply chain is concerned. Until now, this system is interconnected to NMS and other health facilities. We shall be able to receive them through the system. But immediately we get the supplies from Mukomamboga. We input them into the system, and then the user unit orders them through the system. And then the patients are also immunized through the system, like their prescriptions go through the system. It's not, again, paper-based. Thank you, Chairperson.
Okay, the storage facility, you still put drugs on the floor?
No, they are not
corridor.
on the floor, but yes, we still have this problem of storage facility because we haven't expanded, but they are not on the floor. At least the cabinets within where we store the drugs.
I'm sorry to interject. The pictures are here.
Those are not drugs.
They are empty boxes.
You know, when you say drugs, they are, for example, there are items like soap, like mama kits, which we keep in the containers. But drugs are stored properly.
What is this? Is this a container or?
Goretti, what is that? Senior pharmacist.
Thank you, Chair. On the left of the picture, those things are actually hand washing facilities that were delivered, donated, and we can't store them inside the main store. On our right is where you see our right storage properties. We have the shelves, and then the supplies are inside the shelves. So these other ones were hand washing facilities that UNICEF had just donated.
But Chair, the one on the...
So storage space is no longer a problem?
No, it is a problem.
But Chair, on the left there additional, that structure you see there, apart from the ones down there, is the container. Isn't that a container which has been roofed?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we are saying.
That stores what is stored over there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
First I wanted to confirm that it's what?
It's a container where?
But two, it's not enough. That's why some things are outside. These ones which Senior Thomas was explaining.
No,
that shows that they cannot fit in the container. That's why they are down here.
Yes, we have severe storage space.
But I think, just putting your house in order with all these are issues that will not be appearing. You might be having empty space, but the arrangement can satisfy the auditors.
But doctor, you know the impact of this kind of storage. Definitely, when it comes to issuance of these drugs and these other consumables, at times you can end up, it disorganizes.
True. True.
Because you find old items, you bring new ones, or automatically the system of discharge of some of these items is affected.
Yes, I agree.
So
in fact, Chair, if you may recall yesterday, we had a similar situation with the entities that we handled that had posted quite disorganized stock management in terms of storage, like it is looking like here. But yesterday, when we were referring to the old pictures that had been raised as a concern by the Auditor General, they were quick to flash the status now of well-organized shelves. But sorry for yesterday, but now this is the. So how I wish you had also been fast enough to now say today.
No, we are still.
There is not
still have the problem.
You can still do better.
Them to go to Kampala and take photos of those pharmacies.
That is, but that one we challenged them. We only didn't see an officer standing when the photos were taken. But somehow, we gave a benefit that I think that is who
Doctor,
they are now.
we pray that you get space because this kind of environment is not favorable to the users, but also to the hospital too. It may bring losses to you.
Yeah, but it goes back to the earlier issue where I was saying, because I don't know even how government planned these hospitals. Because a level of such a hospital, how can it not have space in terms of land? Both the Kirudu and Kawempe. You see, it's like they were squeezed. So it goes back to the issue where they say they need to acquire some additional space in the area, because even if now they wanted to build a store, there is nowhere to put it, unless they are going to hire another warehouse elsewhere. So I think it goes back to pushing acquiring of additional space in terms of land area in both of these.
This hot water system, that you claim was hybrid, yet it uses electricity only.
No, that's not true. It is actually hybrid. The biomed can add on. It is hybrid, solar and electric. But when they attempted to use it, it was impacting on the electricity costs. But now we are in advanced stages of, again with one of our partners. We are getting solar system, which we not only work on this, but we also be on the where it is needed most, on the ICUs and the theaters and adult and the nicho.
When it was being installed, you did not have solar, you only had electricity, so you had to provide the main for the electricity. But we found out that, I'm saying, when it was installed,
yes,
it's hybrid, because even in the paper here it's showing that it's for both electric and solar. But I'm saying by the time of installation, they did not provide the solar.
No. Solar only, no.
The solar batteries, the solar panels, and what in order to have it.
No.
So
this was during the construction of the hospital was designed like this. But we have got a friend of the hospital they have already done all the surveys. They are just.
Where did you get a friend from?
We have several friends of the hospital.
We have
when they visit
specifically this one,
we have challenges with our friends who have the Chinese, the friendship hospital of Naguru. The friends are not helping.
No, that
this
one
is a Ugandan.
Chinese, that is Iranian.
This one is a Ugandan.
A Ugandan friend.
Yes. I think from the visits there, people are get concerned and they say, let's remove this issue of electricity on this level, at least in Nicho. But they already surveyed and they are going to work on this hybrid and those levels.
The fire hydrant system?
The fire hydrant system works, and recently we had police testing this equipment as a risk mitigation measure. I don't know what. Again, Biomed, do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, the comment there would be is some levels. There's what we call the long pipes which you run in case there is a fire. So some of them are since old, so that we have closed them off. But like the response says, we have already included this, especially in the budget that is coming. We are going to reactivate all these things.
The issue here, the way I think you're going to, because the concern here was equipment is missing accessories and therefore not in use. So have you now acquired the accessories to make sure that it's in use? Because the ED here says police was recently there.
Yes, on some levels, yes, but some levels, that's what I'm saying. The accessory that you use for running the water, when you have a fire somewhere, you pull that long pipe and then you start to put off the fire. So in some places, it's either rusted at the back or the valve is broken, but that we have already put in the plan.
Maintenance is the key here.
Yes, for maintenance, yes.
You will come here and tell stories. The time you'll get fire gut in that area, that's when you will know that
and the fires
is
are
not
everywhere
good.
now.
Fires are everywhere.
Given the way that place is so congested, Chris, there, you are vulnerable. So this should really be made operational, because in case of any power, people will die. Was evacuating, people getting you, because now even as you go down, to have people leave that place in emergency,
for me, my last one,
it will be difficult.
Yes, Honorable.
Because this is my last issue, I'm not going to ask anything more. It's about the lift.
But we are proceeding to the lift.
Yeah.
Let them respond why the lift is not working. The order says it needs a major overhaul.
Yes, thank you, Chair. We have 3 lift systems. 2 are working, are functional. 1 is not functional. It's a problem, but the engineers checked and it needs a whole overhaul, which we have planned in the next financial year.
So what
it
will
needs
happen
replacement.
in case you get a total breakdown in the lift? Do you have a provision?
That is, we have ramps all over. It is very
So in case the lifts get a challenge, you have alternative means?
Yes, we have alternative means. They actually usually get challenges.
Chair, how old is this lift?
Because I want to raise my issues.
Yes?
How
old is this lift?
Biomed lifts.
How old is the lift?
How old? These were still handed over to the hospital at the inception in 2018. So that puts it to about 8 years.
10 years.
2016 is when the hospitals completed the construction.
So that's about 10 years.
Yeah.
So that should not be really a very old lift. It should, unless it was of poor quality. And I don't think it would even need, even if you had to repair, it can't be an overhaul. Because when you talk about overhaul, it's like you are replacing 80-90% of it.
Yes,
this
we
should
have
be
been repairing.
This should have been just possibly lifts, the chains.
Honorable, frequency.
Madam Chair.
Even if
yes, Honorable.
What I have seen, most of the the lifts in the Mulago, how old since independence. Of course, they are still serving, but I don't know. I don't want, because you've said some are working, but in many of your institutions, government institutions, pay less attention to lifts. You visit the ministries, floor 18, floor what? Lifts are not working. And the reason why you have lifts is to reduce you save time. You have people who are the disabled, then you have patients themselves. I don't know why I don't give it attention. I was at Makerere for 4 years doing law, even 3 years doing education. I spent those years when the library lifts were not working. All those years. And I used to complain. For low cost, I was even here at Parliament. Nothing. But you, in Kawempe, you have no shortcut to your lifts. You have no shortcut, doctor. Kind of help those people.
Actually, as you say, we have no shortcut because remember the labor ward is on level 4 and entrance is on ground. So the lifts are very crucial. When someone comes bleeding, they must be quickly taken to the. So we pay attention. They are serviced monthly actually. This lift which is functional is serviced monthly. But the other one, according to the technical assessment, needs overhaul. I'm not technical in the lift.
No, they have given here a cost that it needs about 24 million. That's what is here. But is this the cost of the overhaul or?
No, the overhaul is about 500 million.
Because this 24 million here cannot be for the purchase of the lift. So what is this 24 million? I guess this is for repair on the Auditor General's report.
Where is that?
On page 27.
And page 19 of the Auditor General's report. They have put the value there. So, you know, sometimes people can make the things to look so expensive, yet it's...
No, we cannot.
Because even if there is a variance with what the Auditor General has given, it cannot be double that figure. Where and how did they come up? Because they are also professional people.
Honorable, where are you reading?
Auditor General's
page what?
Page 19.
27.
Page 27 in the main document.
27.
Lift non-functional cost. No, I am sure here I was talking about the maintenance because we have a technical report assessing the lifts. There is one which is functional, which is also breaks down almost monthly. One of the two lifts.
So in your report, how much is needed?
They come again.
You say you have a technical report. How
much? 450 million. I mean, we have. They
have buying a lift.
And that's why he said it needs a major overhaul.
Overhaul, yes.
Honorable colleagues.
And that's where the problem is. Within 10 years.
I think that's all with Kawempe National Referral Hospital.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Honorable.
Madam Chair, I want the accounting officer to help me inside the attachment. There is Bank of Uganda certificate of balance for Kawempe. 16,415 accounts. So on the attachment, there is a certificate 16 million. Attachment has no pages. So.
They have numbers.
Eh?
They have numbers. Which one? Is 2, 3, 4 like that?
The account is number 1. So when you go inside there, you will see certificate of balance in one of
bank balance, yes.
Yes, of 16 million. So I want to start to, where is it posted?
Yes.
In the financial statements. That balance.
The head of accounts will answer.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Through you, Chair. The Bank of Uganda account which we are operating, it is like accounts which is operated outside the IFMIS system, outside the IFMS. So, and it is basically for the payment of the intern doctors' allowances. So, this one cannot be migrated into the system. That is why it is excluded from the financial statement. But we actually had to show that we add it.
So you,
thank you.
What have you done in the account? That's it. So we leave it like that. Because
yeah, I think that is the guidance from the Ministry of Finance, since it cannot be migrated. But the balances which were on the NTR accounts were transferred.
That much I know, but you have here commentary on the accounts where you speak to some of those things which you cannot fit into main. Where is it stated? You can't just leave the balance there. If I go and pick it, are you going to complain?
In the narration, where have you put?
Where at
okay,
least?
maybe I would admit, Honorable Member, that year I only failed to disclose it on the comment of the head of accounts. But the rest of the comments, I think, includes everything.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
Chair.
Why?
Chair, what is the
it's
source
just
of...
an omission, Honorable Member.
Not a
Chair.
commission.
Chair, I want to find out from the account, what is the source of that funding? Is it from the consolidated fund? What is the source of that 16 that is being kept aside?
The source of this funding, through you, Chair, the source is from Ministry of Health. Like I said, this is the fund sent to pay the intern doctors' allowances. Is it every quarter?
So we can
send it to that account.
Can we trace it to the accounts of Ministry of Health?
Yes, I think.
But you should do.
The money came to Kawempe. The balance is yours. It's you as a doctor. That's your balance, which
that is your cash.
So which is supposed to be somewhere. You can't leave it hanging. This is how you treat your patients there.
My technical man is here.
I think I've already explained this through you, Chair.
That what?
That since this account is not migrated into the IFMS system.
Yes, that much I know.
So
but
I also admitted that there was an omission to indicate it in my commentary page.
How many of this type are there? Which you have omitted?
Because I sampled one.
Yeah, we just sampled one because we
no,
need to go through
the all. Then we deal with it once.
You can sample. I think it may be only that one, Chair.
Honorable colleagues, it may be only that one. I want to thank you.
It's not certain. Then I want the
Chair, in terms of completeness, didn't you understate your assets? If I'm to look at your statement of financial position, okay, and it is not there, in terms of completeness, didn't you understate your assets?
Chair, I think we did not understate on the ground that this money is just coming through us like a conduit, coming through the hospital and
But
going to the
as long as you still
have
have it and you haven't expensed it, it remains yours. Actually, the thing should have been to include it in the financial statement, statement of financial position. And if you so wanted, then you make a disclosure that out of this, this money is meant for. Yes.
And you went ahead. You've made
Because if you even include cash which is in transit, then what about that one which you had?
Technical person should take note and moving forward do that.
Okay, thanks.
So ED, I've seen in a draft estimate they have given you money for land, but are you going to buy land then you keep it there? In draft estimate I've seen the 18.9.
Yes,
is this for land? But what about you buy it and you keep it because you have an issue of space?
We thought we would jump that bridge when we reach it. Because if we first acquire the land, then the next financial year we can request for the development of the land.
You can't ask for development when you don't have land. Okay, honorable colleagues, I beg that we discharge Kawempe National Referral Hospital. Kawempe, head of delegation, accounting officer, Sir Doctor, we want to thank you for appearing before the Public Accounts Committee. And I also appreciate the honorable colleagues for the duty of service. The reason as to why you appear before these committees is, number one, to ensure that public resources are put to proper utilization. The overall interest is to deliver quality services to our people. And on your part, basically, it's your mandate to provide specialized services. You know the capacities as listed under your mandate. We want to appreciate those areas where you are doing well, but to kind also pull your socks in those areas where we are not performing well. All we do is in the interest of the country. I normally tell colleagues when they appear here that you can't be in Kawempe as a doctor, also find yourself in parliament as a legislator, all find yourself as a minister in the cabinet. All get yourself in the the judiciary as a judge. That means it is our duty to be professional in the spaces that we do hold, because each one of us needs the other's service. Service you give, others will also reciprocate in the same currency. So it's our duty, as long as God gives you life, to do your part to the best you can. So we want to thank you, but implore you to serve better in the interest of our country. With those few remarks, the meeting is adjourned. We just pray that your budget is enhanced, so that you can really provide additional services as you do plan in your strategic plan in line to implementation of National Plan 4. Aware that all those areas that were not covered in National Development Plan 3 are carried forward to NDP 4. We observe a very big discrepancy between your strategic plan and the actuals. A discrepancy of 56% is very alarming. That indicates that most of the activities are not implemented, and at the end of the day, that compromises service delivery. It means us, the beneficiaries, suffer a lot. Also, to really request you to pay interest to the NICU. That staffing of 1 to 10 really is appalling. It's a very serious compromise to those mothers. You know what it means to bring up, to raise a premature baby. It's a duty, and mothers go through a lot. So at least for the hospital, do your part as the mothers also do their part. Honorable colleagues, I beg that we end it at this. We wish you a safe journey as you get back to Kawempe. We know the jam is always too much, but being doctors, you are given lead cars. You must be having. You use the ambulance, and we had prepared to give you some lunch, but we are past the time, and that would be negatory expenditure on our part to give you lunch past the time for lunch. But we still have some tea, if you can take it before you leave. But as also, when you get to Kawempe, we know you had plans for lunch. You utilize that line that you normally use to provide lunch to your staff. Sir, here's the welfare budget. So, sir, we wish you well.
Thank you.
Safe and journey masses as you get back to Kawempe. This my side, the Honorable Saungu, can see the team off.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair and Honorable members. God bless you.
Amen. Meeting adjourned tomorrow. Is tomorrow Idi? Not aware. Idi Mubaraka to you, the Muslim colleagues. Whether Friday or tomorrow, Idi Mubaraka in advance.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, Friday, whichever it is. Asma, we shall communicate. I'm not sure as of now. We are. Please, they are going to do administratively. Is going to do his part. So, sir, hope you have fuel in the lead car. Kindly run back and find the patients. Thank you.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Peak of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Praise the Lord, brothers and sisters. I want to welcome all of you as we share the message about the Lent season 2026. My name is Reverend Charles Obira. By God's grace, I'm serving here at St. Luke's Church of Uganda in the Archdeaconry. And by God's grace as well, I'm the priest in charge of Jubilee Community Church at Kulambiru. As we share about this Lent season 2026, let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for loving us, for giving us the opportunity to hear and receive your word. And we pray that, Lord, as we share from your word, may you bless us all. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Allow me to share a scripture coming from the book of Joel, chapter number 2, and from verse number 12 following. The Bible says, "Even now declares the Lord, return to me with all your hearts, with fasting and weeping and mourning. Render your hearts, not your garments. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in love, and he relents from sending calamity. Who knows? He may turn and have pity and leave behind a blessing, grain offerings and drink offerings for the Lord your God. Blow the trumpet in Zion, declare a holy fast, call a sacred assembly, gather the people, consecrate the assembly, bring together the elders, gather the children, those nursing at the breast. Let the bridegroom leave his room and the bride his chamber. Let the priest who minister before the Lord weep between the temple porch and the altar. Let them say, spare your people, O Lord. Do not make your inheritance an object of scorn.